Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another weekly edition of Timeout Talks with Ben and Josh, streaming on the one and only Kirk Minahan Show Network, Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, and Rumble. Timeout Talks is brought to you by Chase and Thrills Custom T-shirts and accessories, the Ice Shaker, Make It Mac, and of course, proudly a part of the Kirk Minahan Show Network. And of course, with a little late welcome here, thank you, Mut, for joining our show tonight.
What's up, guys? How are we doing?
Hey, man, we're doing good. Thanks for joining us. I have to dive right into this. We all know about the play last night. Your thoughts on the Rico Bosco undercut from Gus? I mean, we know he's suspended for Thursday, but just take me through your live thoughts in the game.
Well, Josh, it's weird to see you not next to James. I'm a little rattled right now. I'm glad Ben is here, but not seeing you and James together. I see like peanut butter and jelly, so it's a little bit off-putting for me. I was standing right there, and I was actually watching the ball going. It was an and one for Rico. And my first thought was, what a freaking take by Rico. He got bodied and finished it. And the next thing was Rico going directly at Gus and flipping out. And I got to be honest, I thought Gus got pushed into Josh. I think I got pushed into him because he flew out of nowhere. I was looking up, and I sort of saw the body go across. Clearly, the replay shows Gus either bailed out on a charge or legit just went for a dirty play. And I don't know Gus very well, but what I know of him is he's not a dirty player. He's just a very active player. And so it was a really dumb, stupid basketball play. He's had a couple of those now this year. He had one last Thursday as part of that game. That video is now surfaced. I don't think it's good for Gus going forward. I wonder how Kirk and the team will respond on Thursday. But it was a really dumb, dirty play, but I don't think it was malicious. I felt he got pushed into him last night. Clearly, that's not it. And I feel like today, dumb play by Gus, well-deserved suspension. I wonder if that gets added on to with this new video that came out today.
For sure. Just quickly, guys, want to show you viewers for who didn't see this.
Nice beautiful cut from Rico.
Beautiful cut from Rico.
Hits the deck and gets the foul. He shoves Gus to the floor.
So
that's a quick reaction. I agree with Mut on that. That's a little quick from Rico on that, but I don't think that's entirely dirty. He's just playing hard. No malicious intent, like Mut said, but it's a little quick reaction.
Maybe not malicious, Ben, but I would say certainly you don't want to low bridge somebody in basketball like that. And it's a great camera angle. My bald spot is very, very active in there. Shout out bald spot.
I couldn't even tell that from this angle.
Thankfully. Yeah, nice of you to say, Ben.
You're welcome.
I love playing with Gus. Gus is active. Gus is there to defend his teammates. He's got to be smarter. And the one game suspension completely deserved. And again, I wonder now, and I wonder how healthy he is, right? He's at the doctor. I hope I'm not spilling some. He was at the doctor for a long time today. And at last check, he was still there a couple hours ago. So I wonder if his injury is going to
add to.
That's Gus, man. That's Gus. The dumb play, dirty play. I don't think it was done on purpose to hurt Rico.
For sure. We know that the offense, James and I have been very critical about you guys getting those open opportunities. Yeah. You had a couple. Still, Ben, for someone who doesn't watch every week, Mut, still searching for that first basket. Still got 0 points, but Mut, we've heard a lot on the show today, and just in general, you guys are going to be playing a team that just got their first win. And it sounds like they only have one really good player. Thoughts on that upcoming matchup? How do you feel off the Barstool New York loss?
Yeah, we got to get Kirk help offensively. You know, he's going to hit threes. He did so last night. The rest of us have to do our part. I thought John and Warren played awesome, limited minutes last night, but we got to be able to find a way to score more points. Greg Poehler's going to play for us on Thursday. He apparently was a big-time scorer at Burlington High School in Massachusetts. Hopefully he can help us out. Defensively, we're there. The effort is there. The defense is there, but we've got to score the basketball. I have been atrocious. It's been a combination of rushing my shot. And I got to admit, for being honest here, Josh, a little bit mentally. It's a little bit in the brain right now. Like there was a shot, there's a terrible video out there where I shoot a shot last night, and mid-shot, I complain about the net being stuck up in the top of the rim there on like an air ball that wasn't close. That was embarrassing. So I got to be better offensively, get guys open shots. But once that happens, we're going to win games. I don't know if it'll be Thursday, but we're going to win games.
For sure. And lastly here, before I turn it over to Ben for some Celtics questions, it seems to me like free throws are just a struggle for the whole team. Aside from Kirk, I know John and Warren hit a couple, but Beanbag Ron missing a few. We know the Coleman. I mean, what do you think that this team needs to work on a little bit more in practice? Or just moving forward?
I don't think it's not a practice thing. I think it's an offensive thing. Like I've had good offensive practices. Pat Ford would tell you he's had very good offensive practice. I think we both admit we're frustrated that's not translating into games. The offense we play a lot of 3-on-3, a lot of team basketball in these practices. It's got to translate into games. And that to me is going to be the key of having that offense end up happening a game. As for Coleman's free throws, it's an embarrassment to basketball. James Naismith rolling over in his grave. He should never shoot a free throw again. He should defer instead of shooting free throws and let someone else pull someone out of the crowd. Let you or James come shoot free throws. Like this is, if there was 6 minutes of him not hitting one free throw. How is that possible?
I don't know.
I don't know if you want James. I'd probably put Josh in there. James, I don't know. I think he's a little too old for the game right now. Maybe it's past him a little. Injuries have caught up to him. I'd like to just get that one out there, but I'd probably put Josh in there for you guys. And Mut, I mean, Jackson from Australia defending you. You know, it doesn't sound like you're impacting the game offensively, but you're a great defender. So I mean, that's just
but that's like game. I mean that's the that is thank you, Jackson, for saying that. But I mean, if you watched the game last night and you watched Josh's awesome call,
thank you.
I was not good offensively. Tentative. Right. I thought I told you after the game, Josh, when the first one like sort of rimmed out, I was rattled because I thought for sure that was going in. That affected me the rest of the game. So I got to find a way to turn the page for Thursday. The team we're playing might only have one win, but they're pretty good. They played a team called Prodigy last week. They were down double digits early, came back to win. They do have a tall, lanky kid who runs the floor. He's lefty. He'll be a tough matchup for Coleman and everybody else on our team. But I think we've had a couple of good games here in a row. Effort has been there, and now the offense has got to translate. That's the hope. And it starts with the point guard. It starts with me. And I hope John, I'm going to work with John to make sure we get him in earlier in games because I think he can be an impact offensive player for us.
For sure. I mean, you see that second half, finally got a basket. I know he had that free throw point, but we needed to get that first basket. Same for you. You guys created more offensive opportunities. Just got to get the shots knocked down, as you've mentioned. And of course, I'm going to turn it over to Ben here, but the Boston Celtics are in town. They're in the NBA Finals, and they're up 2-0.
They are not in town right now. They're in
Dallas.
Go to
Dallas, yeah.
The games are already in.
Yeah, here we go. Come on, Josh.
The next Marv Albert, Chris Berman. You know where the games are? I mean, come on. They go back to Dallas. Finally, game 3 tomorrow, and we're talking Tuesday night. Everyone is reacting to the Porzingis injury. We're watching videos of doctors. This weird sheath injury. 32 people have ever had it. Professional sports somewhere in the country. They're still going to win the series, but I think the sweep or even the gentleman's sweep in 5 might be a little bit in question, but we can talk about it. They're the much better team. They have the best players, and the role players for Dallas are not playing well. The Celtics were 21-4 in the regular season without Porzingis, 9-1 in the playoffs without Porzingis. The Mavericks are a 5 seed. They look like a 5 seed right now. But it's going to be a fun game 3. We'll see if Kyrie responds after having 2 terrible games at the Garden.
That's perfectly set up right there. What a great answer. For my question, I was going to say, what do you think about the underdogs for game 3? I know it's a little juicy, plus 120 right now on FanDuel. I know we can't get into specific bets and everything, but should we be reading into that underdog? What?
Would you say? But should we? What is it, underdog?
Should we be reading into that underdog role, or should we be
buying
into that?
No. I think a lot of teams down 2-0. When they go home, they're favored by a bucket, 1.5, 2 points, 3 points, whatever. I'd be fine with the Celtics in this game. And I've said this, I thought in game 2, so maybe I'll be wrong for game 3 as well. But you can look at some of these websites; they offer player props for Jason Tatum. I think he's going to have a monster game in game 3. I think he's sitting on a huge points game. I think he did a very good job in game 2 distributing. Clearly, the Dallas defense is about containing him and making him pass the ball. And instead of forcing it, like we would have a couple of years ago, he's now passing to find the open man. So he's rebounding and passing. The scoring is going to come. I think he'll have a big game 3. I wouldn't be completely shocked, especially if Porzingis is in play. No Porzingis, I could see Dallas winning game 3. It would not change my opinion. I don't know what you guys think watching the first 2 games, but unless Tatum or Brown gets hurt, the Mavericks are not winning this series.
Agreed. I say the most it goes is 5 or 6. I mean, originally I said Celtics in 7, but just not enough help from the depth players. And of course, as you've mentioned, Kyrie Irving kind of lackluster. Celtics in 5 now.
Jason Kidd kind of stinks. Like Joe Mazzulla gets a lot of crap, but I mean, Jason Kidd tried to get in Tatum's head after game 1 and calling Jaylen Brown the best player. Like I think he is grasping at straws already. And I think Mazzulla's had a pretty good playoff run so far. He was a question mark for me coming in. He's called some big timeouts. He had that timeout in game 1. They went on the 8-0 run after that and basically closed the game down from there. I think it's the Celtics series to lose. And if they lose it, even if Porzingis is not playing another second, it is a monster choke job. You were not supposed to lose against this Dallas team. They're up 2-0. Like, they are supposed to win. And quite frankly, they're supposed to go on a little mini dynastic run here. Holiday, Porzingis, Tatum, Brown, all signed long-term. Mazzulla's 30-something years old. Like, they are supposed to be the next little mini NBA dynasty, and it starts with winning this series. They have to win this series.
Yeah, I like the Jason Kidd little diss right there, too. I mean, I don't know what's with that backwards hat. I don't know why he's wearing it like that. I just can't respect him in that one. And just shout out to Jimmy. Jimmy's in the chat right now saying, let's go, Mut. So shout out to Jimmy.
What's up, Jimmy?
That's
I'm watching that one, but
oh, what's up, James?
yeah, Jimmy.
Ben
James. I call
refers to
him
him
Jimmy.
as
Sorry.
Jimmy.
Yeah, sorry. I refer him to Jimmy.
Yeah. This is controversial, Ben.
I know. It's
So
controversy
Josh and
already.
Jimmy? It's not. Is it Josh and James or Josh and Jimmy?
Josh
Wow.
and James. But
Josh and
Ben
James,
always
now.
calls him Jimmy, though.
I've always, I've known him from most of my, since high school. So I call him Jimmy.
Yeah, what's this
Yeah.
dynamic between Josh and Ben and James? Like, are you feeling boxed out
We
right
all-
now, Ben, because Josh and James are becoming
No,
stars?
they
in
keep
the network?
telling me to call these games. And listen, I just don't have the inside knowledge like these guys. I mean, Jimmy's a Minahan fan. Josh, obviously, the intern with them. No offense to these guys, I never really listened to Minahan. I was more of a Sports Hub guy. So you don't want me calling these games. I give it my all, obviously. I give it my all for him. He's allowing us on the network and everything.
You got a good voice, Ben. You got a good voice, man.
I
You got a
appreciate
radio
it,
voice on you.
Oh, I appreciate it. But I think that dynamic with Josh and James right now, I think it's too good. I don't want to get in the middle of that.
Trust me. No. I'm not saying that. I sort of feel bad for you because they're stars.
Oh, yeah, no.
I don't know if you're going to be a star, but I mean, Josh is a star. Like the point of me coming on here is to talk sports, but it's also to tell Josh, like, let's ramp it up here. Okay, let's make some. If we want to do this, let's make some demo tapes out of this. Let's start DMing some Barstool people saying, hey, if you need announcers for stuff, I can help you out. Take advantage. You are a star. You're the biggest stars at Barstool. How great you are on these calls. You made Beanbag Ron a household name. You made the Cinema Lords a star. They're very good, but you're a huge part of it. And I would say take advantage, strike while the iron is hot. After this season, be ready to go. I want you to focus on this season first and foremost. Wherever we go, and you were there at an exhibition game last night. Good job by you guys. But I want you ready to go and take advantage because I know Coleman doesn't know who Marv Albert is. You might be the next Marv Albert.
Wow, I appreciate
it. Sideline reporter in the chat. What about that, Ben?
I like that one. I could be a little sideline reporter over there, but it's Josh. Josh and James just got this market corner over there, and I'm honestly just to answer that one. I'm here to prop Josh up too. I've been a star enough.
Me too.
In my time. I'm ready to prompt Josh up. He deserves it. He's ready to be the star. And
okay,
we'll have this little side thing over here. Come on, people come on Timeout Talks after. They get amazed by James and Josh, and they come over here for a little interview with us.
Ben kicking himself when he's down. No.
No, kick him. Listen, I like being this guy over here. Listen, I don't need to start him. Hey, you never know. Maybe sideline reporter, but I'm a pretty busy guy, Mut. So
all right, so
you put that in there.
So, Ben, I don't want to step on it, but you said you're a Sports Hub guy. Are you enjoying the new Toucher and Hardy show, 6 to 10 a.m.?
It's taken me a little while to get used to it. I've heard a couple, people just getting interviewed also call him Rich over there, Toucher and Rich. They slipped a couple times, because I don't think everyone's getting used to it. But slowly, I'm kind of more of a Felger Maz guy.
Okay. Yeah.
Right now. I kind of transitioned over there. Yeah, it's not the same. Hardy is Hardy can fit on every sort of show over there, but it's not the same without Rich. So
you're a Felger and Maz guy, 2 to 6
every
day.
Felger and Maz guy. Yeah. I get out of work. I go work 8 to 4, so I get out. It's a little easier. But no, I just miss Rich. I don't know what happened, to be honest. I was living in Virginia for a while, so I don't really know the fallout. I know Fred has had his own troubles, but I'm a Felger and Maz guy now.
I wish Rich would talk about it. I mean, Fred is at least taking some shots at Rich for whatever.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm kind of confused.
Let's talk about it. Rich is act like nothing happened. Something happened. Let's hear what happened.
Well, that's why I'm kind of confused. I've been listening to it, and like I've said earlier, I've heard people call him Rich. They've slipped up. It still sounds like they still think it's Toucher and Rich over there, and I feel like people haven't moved on from it. I mean, Hardy is a great guy. He's like a third guy though. He's like a great number 3. So,
ooh, wow, that's that. Wow, Ben going after him there. Well, this is because Ben's a 2 on this show, but is he a 3 with the Josh, James, and Ben thing? Like, see, who's the 3, Josh, of you 3?
Hey, we're all equal.
I'm on the spot. Oh, see, what a corporate answer.
I'll pull the
even myself too. Give myself 2. Put Jimmy at the last. Who cares? Jimmy's not here. What a corporate answer from him. Jimmy last. Who cares?
We've got Denise. I think Rich has been spilling some beans. I haven't heard much. I listened to like the first 5. I didn't even know what was going. The audio for that was terrible.
I listened to the entire first week. I listened because I wanted to review it from mutstack.com, and I listened to it all, and I haven't checked in as much. But the 2 things I have not heard, and if I'm wrong, reach out to me on Twitter and let me know. I haven't heard him take a phone call yet. It's been 2.5, 3 weeks. I haven't heard a phone call, and I have not heard him once talk about what actually happened. I've heard him say, like, the as you said, the company line, Ben. I've heard him say it to Chad Finn and others, and Levin Reed. I've not heard what really happened. Like, Fred Toucher is saying that you put your wife on the phone in a meeting to say it was a hostile work environment. You've not responded to that. Like, that something happened. I've not heard it. It'd be more honest radio to me if he did bring it up. Hasn't yet. Hopefully he will at some point, but I haven't heard it yet. And if I'm wrong, let me know on social media.
No, for sure. I mean, I remember talking about it on the Kirk show. Yeah. That's a tough look if your wife is going to be. I mean, again, I don't want to speak too much into it, but the whole thing.
I respect that, Josh. Take the high road, buddy. Take the
for sure.
Again, corporate. He's smart. He knows what he's doing.
Definitely. Before we let you go, Mutt, again, thank you for joining us. Just final thoughts. So obviously very high on the Celtics, as anybody would be, up 2-0. And just finally walk us through Thursday. Like, any bold predictions, any controversy to watch out for, anything specific for the broadcast team to mention on the show? I mean, on the next game, Thursday, excuse me.
I mean, honestly, I'm excited to see Greg Poehler play basketball. Like, I know him as a super famous actor. Like, he's the big star in the family. There's no other Poehlers anyone's ever heard about. And Kirk has said on and off the air that Poehler was a better player than Kirk was. And Kirk was a very good high school and prep player. And you've seen it translate. Guys almost 15
best player on the team.
60 high. I mean, it's not even close. So honestly, Thursday, from an individual standpoint, I am pumped to watch Greg Poehler play to see how he acclimates to the team. And without Gus there, we need an extra body. Now that you think about it, and Justin Trudell is going to play. Justin's going to be playing. Sounds like Gus is going to run the broadcast for the game. So. I think Justin has earned that playing time in practice. I'm glad Coach has given him an opportunity. He's worked very hard. We've seen a lot of his private areas with his pants falling down at practice, but I feel like in this game, he's going to be locked in and ready to go. So individually, those 2, but as a team, offensively, just how great, like a quick 10-0 run. Josh, how about a quick 10-0 run to start the game, or 10-2 run? Actually have a lead in a game and let that running clock play to our advantage. Running clock, when you fall behind 18-5 to Barstool, New York, you're really running uphill. So early offense, Poehler and Trudell, and then obviously you on the call. Your call is as big as the game. How you decide to, especially like have you thought about what if Team KMS wins? What that might sound like?
Oh my goodness. I'm just waiting for it. I want it to happen organically. When you guys cut it to 8 points.
Oh, I heard.
I was getting really excited. I mean, when the best moment though was when Kirk had the son on Gia, excuse me, not Gina. That was my moment where I freaked out. It was kind of like a father sonning a daughter moment. I loved it. It was great. It's a little bit of banter back. I don't know. He I don't know. It was like I have no idea. It was a weird.
That one.
He completely. Somebody has to clip that moment. But I said that on the show. I said something like he was sonning her, or on the broadcast, I should say. But yeah, I freaked out for that moment. And again, Mutt, before we let you go, just want to shout out Mut Stack. Anything you can preview for us on the Mut Stack this Friday?
Yeah. So I think I think what's going to happen on Friday's KMS show is that the legendary Glenn Ordway is going to be there. For those who don't, like, Glenn Ordway was before Felger. Glenn Ordway was Michael Felger. There's no Michael Felger. There's no Felger and Maz without Glenn Ordway. He did the best radio show, I think, in the history of Boston radio. It was a rotating third chair, 2 third chairs every day with Glenn and Pete Shepard. I got to intern for that show. Glenn has been super supportive of me. And it's going to be embarrassing. I'm going to write about Glenn Friday morning and then go do the show with Glenn and Kirk. And I'm sure they'll rip me for it and they'll mock it and they'll read it. But I'm going to write about Glenn because he's going to the Mass Hall of Fame this week, Mass Broadcasting Hall of Fame. And he's an absolute legend. So I'm excited I want to see Glenn sit with Kirk for a couple hours. That is going to be worth the listen for anybody. Whether you listen to Glenn back in the day or not, that is going to be must-listen podcast on Friday. I cannot wait.
For sure. Again, shout out Mut Stack.
I have a question. So, real quick.
Yeah.
So you have that great, and thank you for that, the shout out Mut Stack when I occasionally make a play in a game. I was trying to figure out how to embed audio on Mut Stack. Like I was envisioning every time someone like goes to mutstack.com, if I can figure out how to do it, do I have your permission to use that clip that says shout out Mut Stack anytime someone logs on to the Mut Stack page?
Permission right here.
100%.
Do I don't even know if it's possible. I can ask Cullinane. He probably know how to do it, but I was envisioning every time you go there,
1,000%.
mutstack.com, the first thing you hear is Josh saying, shout out Mut Stack.
Yeah. Hey, I'm actually honored that you asked me for that. Yeah, 100% give you my wishes for that. And yeah, definitely. I also appreciate your kind words. Yeah, I will definitely take you up on that, helping to maybe land me a broadcasting gig.
Is that what you want to do? Ben, I'm sorry to box you out again here, but is that what do you like? I know you guys all work together and you do something, and you and I was going to say your girlfriend's nickname, but she doesn't like that. But you a lot of stuff going on. The Cowboys. Is this what you want to do long term? Would you like to be a play-by-play guy?
Yeah, I mean, I kind of lost the hope for that, but the Kirk Minahan show is kind of.
What are you, 23?
26.
It's still, you're still in it. There's a million ESPN. With these ESPN affiliates now, there's a million games on every night. Every game is on some sort of ESPN Plus. So these games are everywhere. They're everywhere. Now, again,
need some new talent. I can't listen to these people anymore.
Absolutely. And listen, I would not end the dream yet. You've been electric during these calls. You've added a lot. Going back and watching them. My son who came to the game last night was annoyed because he's like, I can't hear their call of the game.
Oh, I love that. Yeah.
So we got fans. See, there we go.
I've heard him a couple times. Beanbag Ron.
Beanbag Ron. Yeah. For sure. Yeah, no, it's still living the dream. Just waiting. Good. Living right in the middle way.
Good. Well, I appreciate you guys having me on anytime. And if you like Boston sports and sports betting and the occasional mention of the KMS basketball team, mutstack.com, free to subscribe. And Josh, I appreciate the shout outs on the broadcast.
100%. Hey, we appreciate
I need help from you guys. Can do video during this. You can do you put the notes up in the chat.
Oh, Josh. It's professional. Josh. I'm just here along for the ride. I'm just hanging out, dude. It's all Josh.
Shout out John from Scranton too. He's unbelievable.
John from Scranton.
He helped set me right up for this. So shout out to him. But
is that the guy, John, the one who said he was like the best basketball coach ever and could he did the film review and said he could coach our team?
I believe so. Yeah. I think he is on the film. Yes. Yep. I believe that was John.
Admitted he was absolutely hammered when he was coaching basketball. So I'm not sure how that works.
Yes.
It's better confidence. I mean, that's definitely more confident.
But yeah, thank you, Mut, for joining. Yeah, no, thank you.
Guys, anytime, man. Have a good night.
You too.
Appreciate you, Mut. You too.
All right.
Josh getting a little hyped up, man. Josh is here. Josh has made it.
Yeah, I mean, hey, gotta appreciate those kind words. Again, just want to give you guys one last shout out. Shout out Mut Stack. Quick. I try to get the best announcer's voice there, but again, this is where you can go free subscribe every single Friday. Pretty much just about Friday, he's going to drop his Mut Stack. So if you're following KMS basketball, you're following the Celtics, you're into betting, that's your blog to go to. Again, shout out to Mut for joining us. And of course, Ben, talking some Celtics. We know Mut kind of got us, hit the ground running with that for us. And again, Ben, you're a Boston Celtics fan. It almost feels surreal right now. They're up 2-0 on the series. My mess up there. Tomorrow night in Dallas, 8:30 game. And as him and you have mentioned the role players for the Dallas Mavericks have to step up. The PJ Washingtons. I don't want to call Kyrie Irving a role player, but the number 2 there. I know KMS basketball. We're always talking about the number 2 and number 3 stepping up. Same thing for the Dallas Mavericks. I know the Porzingis injury just came out today, strain in the calf, something to look out for again. Ben, personally, I'd sit him for game 3. You want him on the court for the closeout game. I think, and as Mutt has mentioned too, even if they had a Tatum and a Porzingis duo, or they had a Brown and a Porzingis duo, or even the Tatum and Brown duo, they have to win this series without Porzingis. And why not have them nice, fresh, and healthy for a potential closeout game in Boston?
Yeah. Listen, Josh, I'm fully there with the rest. Like I said before in that last series, rest him as much as you want on that Pacers one. Obviously needed it, but more so this one, he needs it. I want him healthy. And that's not even saying that sweep's totally off the table. I mean, if we don't play him 3 and 4, I think the sweep is definitely on the table. I think it's very unlikely, as we sort of outlined with Mutt. And as Mutt said too, I mean, they're 21 and 4, I believe, without Porzingis. So it's not like it's not like we're an automatic loss there without him, Josh. So I think we just rest him as long as we can. Try to get to that game 5, 30 and 5. Yeah, it's all right. What is he giving me a stat? Yeah, shout out to James again. But I think he said or something. I need the correct stat if he's going to leave a comment right there. I don't need or something, but just the greater point, Josh. And I think throughout this whole season, sort of just the theme of it is we can do it without him. Sort of that Pacers series showed it to this team. We can do it without him. A question I forgot to ask Mutt in there too is just guys like Drew Holiday and Derek White stepping up. I mean, Drew Holiday's been a monster on both ends of the floor, and Derek White has been too. Derek White's been there for the solid threes when we need them. Game 1, wasn't the best 3-point shooting performance from everybody, but Derek White had some clutch ones to get us going late in that second half and capture that lead. So, Josh, I'm just saying, you said you're Celtics fans. I mean, it's our Celtics team. You're a Celtics fan too in there. It's our Celtics team. I think everybody's sort of just excited right now. But we're going to pump the brakes a little. This was a 2-0 lead against the Warriors, obviously.
Good point. Great point.
Obviously, a much different team, a much different beast. The greatest shooter of all time, and one of the best teams. That core was still assembled of one of the best dynasties that this NBA's ever seen. I don't like saying it, but it's true. Against a guy that's one player that's really only one ring, and one of the best players in the league, but his first finals appearance. So Luka's starting to wear that too, Josh. We talk about that too a little, but I think for the Celtics, we're just on top right now, Josh. We're on top, and there's not too much to argue about. I mean, we can complain about Tatum a little, but he's doing everything else but scoring.
And again, like Mutt's saying, we're still waiting on that big electric performance from Tatum. I'm not sure if you asked this, but again, something I was going to mention to you, like right now, Ben, who's your MVP? Like right now.
I was waiting for that one too. I was waiting for that one, but to be honest, that KMS basketball kind of got me more entertained. Like I was telling them before the show, I wanted to hear from him. I wanted to hear from the player's perspective. I know a couple of people wondering that too. What's one of those key players out there? Luka or Buka? Yeah, shout out to Freddie on that one. That was solid. Freddie had a couple of solid lines in there during the Mutt interview, but ultimately, what we're talking about, Josh, I kind of forgot right there. I kind of lost my train of thought. What did you say? Oh, the MVP odds. MVP odds. Excuse me. Sorry. No, I forgot to answer that one. Tatum is sitting at plus 140 right now. Tatum plus 140. Then Jalen, and then Drew Holiday. Without that scoring performance, like you said, Josh, I believe Tatum wins it. It's on a take for me. I mean, I know I just listed the odds as being good, but I'm liking what I'm seeing from Drew Holiday, Josh. I'm liking what I'm seeing from Drew Holiday. Jaylen Brown just got that Eastern Conference Finals. It was a little iffy, but I think if Drew Holiday keeps up these performances, I could see him getting that little Finals MVP. He's been sort of the leader for us. He's been the only guy to win a championship. You can tell. No, don't do it. Don't do it, Freddie. Don't do it. Just let it ride right there. You never want to cash out. Trust me, cash out's the death of it. Yeah, I'm sure you make a lot of money, Freddie. I'm sure you can make that back. Don't worry. Just keep it riding. Always let it ride. Never cash out. It's bit me before. So, that's a great point.
This is where I was going to go, Ben. He's doing, and I know on the broadcast, Mike Breen, JJ Redick, those guys, Doris Burke, they've kind of given him shout-outs. He's doing the little things that the box score is not going to catch up with. It seems almost to me like he's not trying to just take over the game. He doesn't have to do that like he was trying to do 2 or 3 years ago. And that's when we started to see the turnovers. And just looking at this Celtics team, Ben, and as you know, as most people know, it's built around a system. They have Jason Tatum, who's probably their best player. Arguably, you could say maybe Jaylen Brown, whatever with the Jason Kidd stuff. I think it is Jason Tatum. But again, this team, they just fit perfectly. As James Burke always would come on in his famous quote, looking at that 2008 team, everybody had their role. Everybody had their certain strengths and weaknesses. You look at Jason Tatum. He's probably not the best defender, but that's all right. You have 2 outstanding, prolific defenders in Derek White, Drew Holiday. That can kind of minimize things, make it harder for Kyrie Irving. And as James mentioned too, do you think the Celtics are going to say, hey, we're going to let Luka Doncic absolutely torch us, drop 30 points a game, completely fine with us? But guess what? At the end of the day, let's make things harder on the other guys. Let's not double team Luka. Let's put one of our best defenders on him. Obviously, we'll do some screens, and we're not always going to have the same guy on him because the way basketball works, it's not man-to-man the whole game. But again, let's not double him. Let's let Luka do his thing, and let's force other players to step up. And that's exactly what the Boston Celtics have done a great job of, and the Dallas Mavericks have not done a great job of. And again, back to Marianne's point, and Nancy's point here, that in the comments, they work very well together. Drew Holiday's that chippy veteran who's won a ring with Giannis and the Bucks 2 or 3 years ago, They have Jaylen Brown to lean on. Derek White's been unbelievable. Al Horford, this is like the peak of him right now. Just in terms of this season and what he's been able to give with Porzingis being out and being shuffled back into the lineup. Cornette, even Peyton Pritchard, Ben, who I've been hammering all season. He hit that buzzer beater earlier in the finals. Just great play from all the role players, and that's what you need in the championship. And back to this Jason Tatum point, he's kind of sitting back. He's letting the guys delegate. And Ben, I'm going to tell you right now, the Boston Celtics are going to go up 3-0 tomorrow. They're going to win it in 5. I'm going to pivot off my original point of 7. I can't do it. I know people for the show, they want me to stick to my takes. I've done a decent job of that with the Florida Panthers. I still will. We'll talk about them a little bit later. But Ben, I can't lie. I'm not going to get on here and lie. The Boston Celtics are going to win this in 5. They're going to go up 3-0. The Mavericks are going to throw everything in the kitchen sink game 4. They're going to win game 4, and they're going to come back for a game 5. And Ben, if I'm the Boston Celtics, you're playing with house money right now. Either you go up 3-0 and you rest Porzingis a game, or you rest Porzingis and you go down 2-1, or you go up 2-1, whatever. Worst case scenario, you're still up 2-1. You get Porzingis back, a little bit of rest. I think for sure you rest Porzingis for this next game. You don't want to risk his future. You're up 2-0, as you've mentioned, and as Mutt has kind of alluded, and you as well, myself included. Can this be the Jason Tatum show where he really does take over in game 3, Ben? But other than that, this team's been great. They're 2 games away from the 18th banner.
That's why it's tough to critique it, Josh. It's tough to ask Mutt some of these questions. They're playing great. You can't really, it's just kind of sports radio talk where you got to make fun of Tatum for his shooting. Listen, it's been awful. It hasn't the best, and it's just, but ultimately, it's what Freddie's point says, he plays 10%, better game. They just win by so much more. Is he playing at this level, and we're still, beating the Mavericks pretty easily. Not totally. I don't want to totally disregard him, but I never really questioned any of these 2 games. I never really, maybe that game 1 first quarter is like, because I was just feeling them out a little, just don't know the matchup. As these games progress, I never really felt like these games have been in jeopardy. I felt like we just matched up well with them. Porzingis being back's been huge. Obviously, we got to just see how that affects us. But even without that, I'm just trusting that record. I'm trusting this team without him. The leadership already instilled, as Josh mentioned, from Drew Holiday, and just having these superstar talents and Tatum and Brown, I think, can carry us. And then other Freddie points. I'm just going to keep talking about what Freddie said. He said Luka Puka. He's been playing awful. I know Josh sort of mentioned Tatum's defense not being up to par, but Luka obviously been banged up too, but Luka's been awful at the defense. In that game too, I just said take it on him every time. Tatum, that's what Tatum started to do in that second half, and I think that's what he's just going to do the rest of the series, Josh. You just got to drive. Forget about shooting. You're not going to shoot right now. You get a couple open shots, you take a couple open threes, do it, but I think right now, just with Luka's injury, I mean, him just wearing that sort of wrap and the handshakes or whatever pregame, he's all wrapped up like a mummy over there. You just got to take it on him, Josh. You got to take it on him. No more shots. No more of these fadeaway jumpers, ISO ball. I just need Tatum taking it to the rim every time, trying to get a foul. And just, Luka's physicality can't keep up with us. And Dallas's physicality can't keep up with us, Josh. So I think that's what we're going to keep doing with this team ultimately. But I'm pretty happy. I don't think we could have asked for anything more, Josh.
100%, 1000%. Ben, as you mentioned, it's super close to 2 games away. And if this is what we're griping with, if this is what we're apples and oranges we're comparing, we're great. I mean, I know it kind of reminds me. My mind goes, oh yeah, we did the same thing with Tatum in that Warriors series, but this feels a little different, Ben. And as you've mentioned, Lewis making a very, very great point. I wanted to call him out on the show, similar to your take. Again, everything that this Dallas Mavericks team has done, their little runs, they kept the game a little bit more close going into halftime in game 2. It still doesn't feel, I know that's what you were kind of getting to. It still doesn't feel like, oh shoot, we need to worry, or oh, we need to panic about this Dallas Mavericks team. The runs that they go on still feels like the Celtics have things under control. The firepower has been great. And Ben, I mean, 2 games away from Banner 18. We've still got a decent amount more to talk about. Again, if you're just joining us, Mut from Mut Stack joined us on the show to talk KMS, also talk some Celtics NBA Finals talk. And, of course, I just want to say this one interesting point here, just broken from Barstool's Jeff D'Lo. If you're following KMS basketball, breaking news, Gus, as was seen on that Undercut video earlier, is out 6 weeks with an arm injury. It was actually shout out Mut Stack. Shout out Mut. I'll give him another little shout out here. Was the one who just sent me the news live on air. Andrew Augustus is out 6 weeks with a ruptured bursa pad and chipped arm bones. He'll be in a sling for 1 to 2 weeks, then reevaluate. The Team KMS player averaging 0.7 points per game, 0.7 assists, 1.2 rebound, was suspended game 1 today for a hard foul on Barstool New York's Rico Bosco. So interesting little tidbit there. Want to throw that one out there. And Ben, of course, we're going to, in a second, take our last Celtics takes. I want to talk a little bit Euro Cup. I know Ben kind of, this is the time that I get into it. I know Portugal, my Portuguese players. Sorry, Kirk. I know you hate the Portuguese players, but Portugal played very well today. Ronaldo 2 goals. We'll talk about that a little bit later. We'll talk about the standings, see what Ben thinks, who his favorite is in the Euro Cup. Talk a little bit about the Copa Cup, of course, our USA, our proud country that we live in. Talk about them, some of the favorites in that, and of course, let's move things forward here in a second with the Stanley Cup Finals, which I'm still going to back Florida. They're all in, Ben. But any last Celtics takes here, Ben? And, of course, we can get back to these 2 later in the show, too.
Yeah. I'm probably switching from I said Celtics, Jeff. Saying Celtics in 4, Josh. Jeff's still going to go with that. You got to respect the take, but take it. Probably going to switch. I'm probably going to go 5, Josh. I'm switching it. I was originally, 6. I think they're going to take 1 in Dallas. Obviously, I think we split. I think we get 1 over there. They're just going to win 1 in front of that home crowd. I think Luka's going to put them on their back for 1 game, and we're just not going to be able to stop it. But Kyrie will show up too a little over there. But I think it's 5 for us. 5's easy. Let's win on home court, Josh. Let's get a little celebration for everybody over here. But yeah, I'm coming back from the 6. I don't want to win in Dallas. Let's get some injury rest for Porzingis. Let's rest him this game. Like you said, hey, if we want to rest him this game, come back for game 4 or vice versa. I'm fine with either or, but I'm going 5 for the Celtics, Josh. That's my final take. Let's lock it in. 5 for the Celtics and shroud Drew Holiday. Give me Drew Holiday for Finals MVP. That's what I want to see. No offense to Tatum and Brown. Brown already got his. Tatum's a superstar in his own right. He's going to get plenty of hardware. But I want to give it Drew Holiday.
Interesting. Ben shouting out Drew Holiday. Celtics in 4 from Jeff. I almost said Jeff. I almost getting KMS basketball in my mind there. Almost said Jeff and Warren, like John and Warren. Shout out James calling him Warren on the broadcast yesterday. All jokes aside, though, Celtics in 5, it's the easier take there, Ben, as you've mentioned. Of course, we'll get to a couple more takes with that a little bit later. But again, I got to do it, Ben. I was high on this Florida Panthers team ever since we lost to them. They really, really remind me of the Tampa Bay Lightning a few years ago. They've got the very elite and veteran polished goaltender. They've got those, the Tarasenko that came in, that veteran leader who's won a championship, sadly beating our Boston Bruins. But again, Ben, they're up 2-0. Next game tomorrow night in Edmonton, which is the furthest distance traveled in a Stanley Cup, all the way from Edmonton to Florida, to Fort Lauderdale. So interesting little stat there. They get a same as the NBA, just one extra day off. They played on Saturday. They're going to play Thursday. Or they get an extra day further than what it would be for the Celtics. But again, I like what I'm seeing from the Florida Panthers. They're going to do it in 5, Ben. They're going to do it in 5. I stick to my guts here. Edmonton, fun run, kind of similar to the Luka Doncic stuff where, Luka's kind of like Connor McDavid, both fun players to watch, flashy, but just not enough. Florida is unbelievable. I mean, even just watching the game last game, they didn't even play as good as Edmonton, and they still won. They had a bunch of shots on net, just unbelievable. Or they actually played yesterday, so excuse me on that one. I had a brain fart.
Huge third period. Huge third period.
It was tied 1-1 going into the third, then they blew the gates off that one. But it was game 1 where Edmonton played a little bit better than Florida. They had more shots on net, which was kind of uncomfortable to see, Ben, because Florida's dictated the shots on net all postseason. Florida's going to win it in 5, Ben. Matthew Tkachuk is going to hoist that cup, and maybe Barkov for MVP. I'm not too sure. I've been following, but not too much on the box score. Maybe Bobrovsky MVP. I don't know. I need to look a little bit more into the box scores, but all I know is Florida in 5. It's been a great run for Dallas. I mean, not Dallas, for Edmonton. Excuse me.
He still wants that Dallas, Josh. Yeah. He still wants his Dallas. It's his second team. He still wants his stars in there. But Josh, I'm sticking with my guns. I'm sticking with the Oilers, even though I don't think it's going to happen. I'm kind of siding with the Panthers, but I got to stick with my take. The Panthers, as you outlined, right, they're just kind of too good right now. I mean, they built from within. It was definitely great draft picks. Tkachuk, Bennett was fourth overall pick. People forget. Ekblad, Barkov, they build within. They bring in guys like Verhaeghe, Tarasenko, and as you mentioned, just having that elite goaltender, Bobrovsky. They've done it for, they built for a while, and they're going to be here to come, Josh. They're going to be here for a little while. I like that comparison you keep saying with the Tampa Bay Lightning. They did a very much similar fashion, drafting, again, a couple of key free agents like Ryan McDonough from the Rangers sort of solidify that roster. So I think the Panthers, unfortunately, are here to come. I hate to say it, I really don't like the Panthers after these first 2 years after what they did to us. But it's just, I think they just got this nastiness, Josh. They remind me of, little Bruins. They got little Bruins in them, nastiness with, just the talent to be able to win a Stanley Cup like this. So I think they're checking off all the boxes right now. And it stinks to say. It stinks to say I want to see McDavid go get one. If the Bruins aren't going to get it, I don't want the Panthers to do it. And I want McDavid to get one. He deserves it. Draisaitl too. They got a good team over there, but it's looking very bleak right now, Josh. Looking very bleak, but I'm still backing the Oilers. So let's go get two at home and change it up. But looking like a big uphill battle to climb right now. But you said I'd probably give it. You're talking about MVP ones. I'd probably give it a Bennett. Everyone probably doesn't like me for that one, but he's had some huge moments in these ones. I hate to say it, but he's been a key piece. We know we don't like him. He's a dirty player, but you shake hands after every series, Josh. So you forget about all that stuff. But I'd probably go with Bennett.
For sure, Ben. Interesting series there again, as mentioned, Thursday night, 8 o'clock. That'll be right around the time for Team KMS. I will not be watching because I will be in the play-by-play booth with James. But moving on, Ben.
Gosh, sorry, I'm a FanDuel. Sorry to Patrick's comment. Not a FanDuel guy, not DraftKings show. B. Brown. I mean, that's a good one. That's a good one for Patrick. He's got a couple nice comments in there. Not answering everyone, but he's got a couple interesting ones. He's always an interesting guy, but. No, FanDuel guy. FanDuel. Even though FanDuel was acting a little weird today, but No DraftKings for me.
Oh, nice little
No DraftKings for me.
there.
Sorry, no, nothing else.
You're good there, Ben. Interesting now. I've just been excited about this. Ben, a little more versed in the soccer world than me, but let's take a quick dive. Next Tuesday, actually this Monday, I believe, the Euros and the Copa starts, I think, next Thursday, Ben. But the Euro Cup will be starting this next week. Little interesting play on words there, but we'll be starting next week. Very excited for this, Ben. Grandfather getting up there in age. They want to see another Portugal hoisted trophy. These are some of the groups here. Some big names: Germany, Scotland, Hungary. As you see, Spain, Croatia, Italy. Wow, that's a huge. That might be the group of death there.
It is.
Got the group D, group E, and of course group F. Ben, what do you think? This is, what are your thoughts? You're more versed in this. Who do you got? Some early maybe underdogs in this cup. Who's your favorites? What are you thinking?
I'm hearing some things for a nice little underdog in Albania, Josh, right there in this group of death. You already said it right there. You said a question, but you were right. You questioned it a little. You were right about that one. That is the group of death. It's a little tougher. It's tough for my Italy, the reigning Euro champs. It was a wild run we went on last year. Not last year, obviously, 4 years ago, 3 technically, but
I know what you meant.
Whatever. Yeah, you guys get what I meant. Last time we were here in the Euros, shout out Italy. They're a little different team. Don't really have any of the captains back. We lost a lot of the guys on Italy. So Italy coming in with a very new team. But Josh, you're Portugal. Portugal's one of the top teams out here. One of the only unbeaten teams during qualifying. Unbeaten teams are France, England, Portugal, Belgium, Romania, and Hungary. But for Romania is a nice little underdog team too. But I like that Albania team in that group of death too, right there, Josh. Albania, I've been hearing some good things about. Nice little qualifiers. Surprised to see them here, but a lot of people backing them. Portugal, easy favorite. If you want an easy favorite, root for Josh's Portugal. They've scored in every single game, in every single qualifier they've had. They're dominant. Ronaldo, as Josh mentioned, 2 goals this past game. This offense, Joao Felix, they got a great offense over there, great midfield. They got a solid team. But I don't know. I always do this, but I'm gonna back Belgium. I like Belgium as a nice little team. I always do it. This is my team, Josh. Obviously, listen. It's obviously Italy first and foremost. You gotta back Italy, but like I said, the team that won last time in the Euros they're missing both captains, missing a lot of key guys over there. Really, only good guy is Donnarumma, proven good guy Donnarumma, the goalkeeper over there. But I like Belgium. I like Belgium, Josh. I'm sorry. I gotta back him.
I know we talk about that.
He's gonna.
You know what I'm gonna do. You know what I'm gonna do. We talk about the fact that that's a group of death. Could Italy not make it to the round of 16?
Oh yeah, Josh.
Is that what you're expecting here?
Yeah, you got a very talented Spain team, and a very veteran team of Croatia led by Luka Modric, Perisic. Excuse me if I mispronounce any of these guys' names. And
beat by Portugal the other day.
They got a very Josh. This team's been around for a while. This group that they've got together, assembled. They've been around for together for a while. And like I said, Albania is a nice little dark horse that everyone likes. And Italy, very unproven, very inexperienced, bringing a ton of new guys in. Nico Barella, probably the best guy midfielder for us right now, and he's great. He's great in everything, but still, Donnarumma was the best guy going out there. I know he was the player of the tournament last Euros, but still doesn't have that supporting cast around him this time. But Belgium, I'm just going to back them. I know they missed out on their sort of best years with De Bruyne, Courtois, Lukaku, Hazard. Some of those years they felt like they missed out on the glory days. Lukaku leading the league and leading the Euros and scoring with 14 goals. I'm going to back Belgium. I think they're going to win this one. It's just
we're going to see in the finals.
We're going to see in the finals. Let's go Portugal. I want to go Portugal.
Okay.
Maybe Portugal, Belgium finals. I got to double check, make sure I was right on that one. If that was can be even a sort of a matchup, but that'd be the most exciting matchup I'm looking at right now. Yeah, that could be a matchup. That could be a matchup. I just had to double check real quick. But yeah, no, I would like that one. I think just two of the most explosive teams. You don't want to see France. France is always winning now. France is always there. Listen, they got Mbappe. They got everybody over there. I like to see Portugal, Belgium. Let's let the Belgians win something, Josh.
Let the Belgians win something. I'm going to make an interesting one. It's going to be the battle of Portugal and Spain. I'm pretty sure that can be a matchup. Heated rivalry there. I like Spain. I know maybe Portugal, Germany, maybe Portugal, France, England too is pretty good. So
It's got a nice little team.
Always in it. But as we're running out of time here, let's quickly get over to the Copa America Cup. This is one I'm not as familiar with, but I do like two teams who just so happen to be in the exact same group. I'm a huge Uruguay fan, and of course, USA. Then, of course, we know the World Cup winners, Argentina, got to be the early favorites here. Interesting little group there. I know Canada's gotten a lot better. But Ben, walk me through. Who are your favorites? Who's an underdog in this Copa America? And who do you have in the finals? And who do you have winning it?
Give me USA. Give me USA, Josh. It's easy. Give me USA in the finals. Oh, Argentina too. Argentina. I forgot about Argentina. Yeah, give me USA, Argentina. Just for a little fun, Josh. This one, obviously, we're not as well versed, and I got back my USA guys, USA compatriots. But you know, Mexico's always tough. Colombia, always some tough teams out there. But Argentina, Brazil, actually, it's kind of tougher now. I'm looking at some of these teams. The USA is just a little fun one right there. It's probably not going to be the USA.
It'd be nice to make some knockout stages.
That'd be nice to make the knockout stages. that was a little hasty for me on that one, Josh. Sorry, I was looking at some of these other teams. No, but give me. I say at the Copa. This is easy. It's Brazil, Argentina. It's going to be Brazil, Argentina, like it always is. I believe. I believe that it's. I'm going to put that one, Josh. Give me that. Now I remember. This is always the matchup. Listen, you know, Mexico makes a nice little run, get some of these other teams, but give me Brazil. Give me Brazil, Josh. I don't think Brazil's won it in a while. Argentina, you know, with this run of Messi, has been winning it. Without Messi, let's see how they can do. So I think Brazil's going to win this with the Messi-less Argentinians.
I like it, and they're not playing with Messi. He's done. He's done with international.
I believe so. I believe it's done. I thought that was the whole point of him winning that World Cup. Maybe he's still playing.
If he's not playing, I don't think that they win. But I mean, they are a great team.
I think he is. I think he actually is. I misspoke. He is still on the team. So he's still there. Whoops. I thought he would have just ended on the World Cup run, but whoops. Well, I'm saying Di Maria just scored too. Di Maria just scored in a friendly against Ecuador. So,
okay. Hey, I was just hyping him up. Let's go.
Josh has got that one right. Listen, I was more focused on the Euros. For sure. Argentina versus Brazil every time in the Copa. So,
Patrick coming in with an interesting one here.
Listen, it's tough. It's tough at the Copa, Patrick. I mean, listen, I'd rather talk to Euros.
Same. I just had to do it.
Switched it up with me on the Copa. I mean, I forgot who I said USA. I mean, I forgot Brazil and Argentina are still there. So, I'm more of a Euro guy, Josh. The Copa is watch for the USA to get out and everything, but I mean, Euros we don't really is that.
100%, Ben. 1,000%.
I don't mind that either. I don't mind that either from Patrick either. Listen, hey, everyone's got to work.
Yeah, it'd be a nice little gig there for Ben, being a divorce attorney. But yeah, Copa and the Euros both kicking off next week. As mentioned, a couple friendlies underway right now, getting ready for that soccer summer. NBA Finals getting ready to wrap up soon. And as well as our show, a couple interesting points I wanted to get to before we leave. UFC. I mean, $1,000,000%, Aaron. Hammer that. Just what? I'm done. I I want Connor to fight, but it's unbelievable. The on and offs. Like, is this antics to hype up the fight more, Ben? Like, I don't know anymore. Last week 3 weeks ago, they came out, they said the fight's going to be June 29th. Yay, we all get excited. A week later, oh, Connor got hurt. And then 2 days later, on like friggin' Friday, oh, Connor isn't hurt. This could be mind games. He might be fine. I think he's going to figure it out. And then today, oh, they're crashing down the optimism. They might not fight. Ben, are these guys going to fight or not?
I hope they do. I don't know what. I know they've already floated a couple replacement names in there, but nothing will be the same. Nothing's going to be the same. I need McGregor, Chandler. This card's sounding out to be a great one. Yeah, Jamal Hill, Carlos Olberg. This card needs this one. So I'm just trying to look at some of these other ones. Joe Pfeiffer's on this one. We need this to happen. But Josh, I know I'm kind of diverting from that point. We got a couple, not this upcoming fight week, Josh, but the next one is, I know I'm going to get back to this point too. I just want to give a quick shout out to this fight night. We've got Robert Whitaker versus Hazmat. Hazmat's just, I don't want to butcher the last. Chimaev right there. Next Saturday, not this upcoming one. It's no name. It's Alex Perez versus an undefeated fighter, Japanese fighter, Tsudo.
Oh,
sorry. Okay. He's up and coming, flyweight right over here. So they're kind of setting up to see if he's, going to be able to break through against a nice little veteran, Alex Perez. But I mean, this fight night, Whitaker, Hazmat, that's going to be an interesting one. You got Popovich on it versus Alexander Volkov.
Couldn't agree with Charlie anymore.
I can't wait for that one. But ultimately, again, I just wanted to give that shout out to Josh. But ultimately, wrapping that one up, we need this to happen. I'm tired of hearing McGregor. If he doesn't find this one, I'd be done. I'm ready to be done with McGregor and hearing about him. If he can't get ready for this one, actually with all the the Ultimate Fighter drama, come on, Chi. And I guess that's pretty crazy, Jeff. Jeff just threw a cricket upset in there. I guess that was pretty crazy.
In USA, yeah. I guess it was one of the biggest upsets in cricket history. So I think they're still doing their
Thanks for the find, Jeff.
Yeah, thank you, Jeff. Nice, interesting one. I did get the notification on that, as well as Joey Chestnut banned from this year's Nathan hot dog eating contest. I don't know why that popped up on my Bleacher Report. I could give two craps, but hey, it's big news.
Tough, gosh, no, that's awful. The 16-time champ. It is
for Hamzat Chimaev. In just a quick take before we send you guys off, of course, get you off and running here, but interesting take here. I couldn't agree with this anymore, and I think that this should be the co-main. I'm not a big Jamal Hill guy. He just doesn't do it for me. Tyler gets mad every time I say it. I'm just not a big fan of his. I think that this. I'm huge MVP. Michael Venom Page, probably one of my favorite fighters. Probably will be my favorite once Dustin stops. I just like him a lot, following him before. But I don't know. Interesting. I want to give you, as always, going to turn it over to Ben as we usually do. Celtics up 2-0. Huge. Going to hopefully be hoisting that banner 18, maybe after Tuesday. Don't want to get too ahead of myself. Got some interesting takes. Let's go Yankees tonight. Got a nice little lay on that. So, not Jamal Hill, Freddie. I like the little you tried to get me there. I know they were talking about Jamil Hill on the Kirk show today, so you're trying to get me with that one. Before I turn over to Ben, just want to say shout out Mut Stack, as always. Just true class. Thank you for joining our show. Love the great words from Mike Mutnansky. Again, he's got over 3,000 subscribers. Be the next to subscribe to the Mut Stack. It's for free. Again, weekly newsletter talking bets. We're talking huge horse guy. Belmont Stakes, didn't talk to him about that. Not very well versed in that, Ben. But again, shout out Mut Stack. Check it out every Friday. A new Mut Stack drops. Want to thank everybody for tuning in. And as I'm just going to leave it as this, Ben. Let's go Celtics. Get ready for that banner 18.
Love it, Josh. Appreciate everyone for always commenting, tuning in. Appreciate all that. Appreciate Mut Stack greatly over there. Killed it. Great interview with him. Loved it. Go check out the Mut Stack over there. Some great sports betting over there. But I'm going to keep it short and sweet, Josh. Celtics in 5.